Shalom. First, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the saints of Yakin pushing this truth all over the world. Shalom. Keep pushing. Hey, this article here it is about Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Here's the man that the world looks up to. This is the man, so to speak. He's the one everybody wants around, because, he's in power right now. The Most High set him up in power. So everybody, all these nations and our people, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, look up to this man like he's a god, like he's an upstanding fellow. But little did you know, man, he's the wicked. He's the villain. He's the bad guy. But we're gonna get into with this article here. It says vile undertaker invited men to sexually assault puppies and have sex with corpses. It says jail Nigel Robinson Wright, 42, chatted to pedophiles, animal abusers, and those with an interest in dead bodies using encrypted military-grade chat rooms and offered men the chance to violate the corpses under his care. A vile undertaker invited another man to the mortuary to have sex with a corpse and egged on a man as he sexually abused a puppy. Jail Nigel Robinson Wright, 42, who referred to dead bodies as fit, posed for photos next to open coffins and naked corpses, and offered to supply a man with crystal meth to facilitate sexual activity in the chapel of rest. Preston Crown Court heard. In a disturbing case, Oliver Robinson Wright's sexual deviance was laid bare to a stunned courtroom. The reports links live. And Esau has been made bare. He said deviance was laid bare. Yeah, Esau's been laid bare, man. He has no more secret parts. We all know about what this man does. We know he's the son of perdition. We know he's the wicked. We know he's a pedophile, animal abuser. And when I say we, the men of the Lord, because the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you don't have a clue about this man still. You still think he has a good bone in his body, that he's the good guy. He's your knight in shining armor. But the men of the Lord, all through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, we know who this man is, man. We know he's out here causing wars. We know he's behind the pickle juice that's out to kill you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the Israelites. We know all this about this man. It says Kim Willenstone, prosecuting, told the court Robinson Wright chatted to pedophiles, animal abuser, and those with an interest in dead bodies using encrypted military-grade chat rooms. He also arranged to meet a pedophile who was offering up a toddler to be raped. Damn. Police lifted the lid on Robinson Wright's sinister sexual world following the arrest of a pedophile in London in September 2021. Online chats between the two men led them to the funeral director, and on November 1st, 2021, officers visited Robinson Wright at his home in Chain Lane, Blackpool. Miss Whittlestone told the court a number of digital devices were seized and some examined at the scene. He was in possession of indecent images, and there was evidence of him distributing images. Extreme pornography was discovered, involving torture and sexual abuse of children and animals. That's what this man does. He's into that type of thing, man. Look at him. He's your everyday, Joe Blow. He's your neighbor. He's your co-worker. And here it is. He in all kind of, manners of wickedness, man. And our people look up to this Piece of crap, man. Look at this thing. The defendant had been in contact with others via social media and had been organizing the commission of sexual offenses against children, dogs, and dead bodies, she added. One man who seemed to be familiar to Robinson Wright shared sexual fantasies about the clients at the Preston Funeral Home where Robinson Wright worked. That was a strong theme of necrophilia where it was openly discussed between the parties, Miss Witherspoon said. They casually just talk about having sex with dead bodies like, hey, you know, like you want to pop a chick or something, look at that chick. She got them yams hanging out. She look good. She got a pretty complexion and all this kind of stuff. Nice frame, nice shape. Living bodies. And here it is, this so-called white man, he's talking about just having sex with dead bodies, man. In a separate chat, the defendant was in contact with pedophile arranging to meet him to sexually abuse a child. However, the police intercepted the chat before the plan came to fruition, and the court heard in another conversation he discussed his fascination with Fred West and Jamie Boger. Robinson Wright gave no comment when he was interviewed by police, but later pleaded guilty to arranging the commission of a sexual offense, 3 counts of making indecent images, 8 counts of distributing indecent images, possession of a prohibited image of a child, possession of extreme pornography, 2 counts of intentionally encouraging or assisting the commission of a offense by inviting an unknown man to the mortuary and encouraging a man to sexually abuse a dog and attempting to supply a Class A drug. Sex, dead animals, drugs, which is nothing wrong with having sex, between a man and a woman, that's natural. This so-called white man, with living bodies at that. But this so-called white man, he's into having sex with dead people, man. And look at him, he got this animal now, which he was probably molesting. It's a strong chance he was, having sexual relations some kind of way with this animal that he's got in his hoodie back here. If he's showing it off, then Esau, he was having sex with that animal. Let's just put it at that. Tom Lord, defendant, asked for 16 other offenses to be taken into consideration, and said his client's guilty plea was his best mitigation. He said the defendant's plea is a concession of what can only be described as lascivious deviancy and a grotesque breach of trust. Judge Graham knows QC's sentence and said these taken together are abhorrent offenses. We're going to go ahead and finish it up. Nigel Williamson, Robinson Wright, you cast off your own humanity and you made a choice to relentlessly pursue cruelty, degradation, and depravity. You glorified in it. So like you gloried in it. Your targets were all powerless, babies, infants, children, the dead, and animals. And that's how this so-called white man gets down in a nutshell. And here it is, our people, you come up against us, about, what about the so-called white man? Can the white man, where the white man is on this side? On the sign. He on the sign, but he's on the other nation side. He's not in the 12 tribes of the nation Israel. Never have and never will be. So this man, he's going into slavery. He's about to be wiped off the map eventually after 1,000 years of slavery. And he's a slave. He's a dirtbag. And he's going to get treated as such in the kingdom of heaven. And we coming closer and closer to that day now. Where this man's about to go into slavery. He's about to get knocked out of power. There's about to be no more wickedness and unrighteousness ruling the earth. We're going to get some precepts. We're going to go to the book of Job 30. We're going to start off with verse 1. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would not have So like I would have disdain to have set with the dogs of my flock. So here it is, Job is talking about the Edomites, the so-called white people, that he wouldn't have them to sit with the dogs of his flock, man, because he know they would have sex with the animals. And as you saw in that article about Nigel, he's into having sex with dogs and all kind of animals, man. So this is a man, you don't have Esau come over and dog sit for you, man. You know, they always advertising for dog walkers and stuff like that. You'd be crazy to have this so-called white man to come pick up your dog alone, or have him go out and walk your animal. And that goes for the so-called white woman too. There's all kind of countless videos of her having sex with animals. So you have to watch both of them. Edomites, period. Who are the so-called white people. We're going to skip down, which is, from Job 31, down there, he's talking about, the Edomites, but we're going to, get to verse 8. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Yeah, they are children of fools, man. Children of base men, and they were viler than the earth. They are viler than the earth, because what that man he was doing, he vile acts, to dead bodies, animals, the children of fools too, man. These are so-called white people. They say in their heart, man, there's no most high. A fool says in their heart, there's no most high. When you can look around and clearly see there has to be a greater power, a bigger power. There's that created the earth, who had the plans to create the earth, and base men, the so-called white people, are the lowest things on the if you want to call it the humankind spectrum, man. They they have no pigment. They skin is wasted as way as he, roughly paraphrasing. They have no color. They're the basis of men. They are the wicked, and they always involve in all kind of manners of wickedness and abominations, man. Whether it's from sodomy to pedophilia, if anything that's wicked and unrighteous, you could pull up the so-called white man, and he's there at it every time you look around. He's right there. He's a good example for anything that's unrighteous, forger of lies, treachery, and deceit. This is that man. Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Everyday Joe Six-Pack, Joe Blow. I just wanted to point out in that article, man, that's how Esau Edom, the so-called white man, gets down. He loves children, animals, and dead bodies. And it's been a disturbing trend in Israel too, that you so-called Negroes, you've been getting into dead bodies lately, man, too, man. So the Lord's gonna kill you niggas for that, man. You niggas have taken the ways after your father, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and you're gonna get paid back swiftly with that, man. But I just pray this video was edifying. And to the Sleazy E, man, keep pushing. Shalom.